Hello and welcome to Shooting the Bull. I am your host, Justin, along with a studio full of people today. Let's go around. Who's all here?
Present.
Ross is present. Ross is here. Roger's here. Ariana's back with us. Welcome back.
Thank you.
How have things been going since you've been away from the show?
Busy.
Busy, yeah.
Yeah.
You're working on a movie.
I'm working on a few movies, actually,
Yeah.
that's been lining up. But my favorite one right now is the one that I created, which is Interitum, which is Latin for the afterlife. So it just talks about what happens after you die.
Did y'all know that? Did you know that Interitum was Latin for the afterlife?
No, I don't know much Latin.
No.
Oh, yeah?
I know a few things.
Losers.
It's okay, I don't know much either.
Isn't Latin a dead language?
I think it is.
This was something actually, we've talked a few times about Carl Pilkington on the show, and he talked about that with Ricky Gervais, wondering why the Latin? Like, why do Latin stuff? Because I think he was talking about philosophy, and he talked about let me think about this. How does it go?
I used to know it. I don't speak Latin. It's a dead language.
Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. And he asked, why did you say the Latin bit? Why? Why do we say it?
Why just
To sound educated.
Well, maybe so, but I think that's a fair question. Why are we still using Latin?
Yeah.
Just because it helps you with base roots of words so that you can see a word and then you'd be like, I kind of now understand what that means just without a definition. That's the only reason why they taught Latin at my Catholic school.
Oh, you actually learned Latin? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was not taught at my
Not
school.
a lot. No.
Yeah.
Latin. Fun stuff.
Latin, yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about that.
I don't have anything else to say about Latin.
I think it's the only reason why it still exists.
Yeah.
Just to
Medical
exist.
terminology.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Technical stuff.
Isn't it also just for people who know Latin just to sound a little bit smarter? Mm-hmm. Isn't that what it is? They just go around acting like they know so much.
I knew that little
I
bit,
know
I just didn't. I didn't sound smart at all.
No, but you barely knew that little bit that you did. I at least know one where I know Interitum, and now I know what it means, and it is the name of a movie.
But there's a reason why Latin is dead, is because there's, like, for going through a door, there's 8 different words to use for the process of going through a door.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
Like, there's one that's standing in front of, one whenever you're in the middle of, one when you're past it, one when you're looking at it, one that's behind you. It's stupid.
I am second AD in that movie. Mm-hmm. Second AD. That's what I'll be doing. That'll be this weekend, I believe, is when that is. So y'all were telling me we love dreams on the show, and y'all were telling me that y'all had some weird ones. Ross, you had a scary one. Let's start with the scary one. What was your scary one?
I said it was scary.
Was it terrible?
Did I say it was scary?
You said it was scary.
Did you say it was
I thought it was
weird.
I thought I said it was horrible.
Oh, see, horrible to me is scary because it's like horror.
It's just very boring. Here's what happened.
It's very boring. Why are you going to tell on the show?
Here's what happened. You're gonna love this.
Okay.
So,
but it's boring.
In the dream, I had a sore throat. I was with Audra, and we were going somewhere, and I said, hang on a second, we're going to this convenience store real quick. I went to the convenience store with my mindset on, I'm going to find something really hot and spicy to sort of like burn the crud in my throat.
Okay, I get that.
And so the entire dream was me going item to item to item to item to item, thinking, will this work? No. Will this work? No.
So in your dream, you had a sore throat and you were shopping.
It was torturous.
Wow.
You were going up the aisle.
It felt like the full 6 hours. I know that's not how dreams work, but it felt like for 6 hours I was just thinking about this. And so I decided on these little chili candies.
Yeah.
And I was like, these might work. And then I was looking at it and I went, I don't know, maybe it'll just make my mouth hot and then I'll have a sore throat and a hot mouth. So I put them down and then went, item. So I just
do you know what's funny about this though is that for those of you who are listening to the show, if you know Ross personally, you know he cannot make a decision. And so what's funny is that in his
Ross in real life,
in his nightmare, he can't make a decision.
Yeah.
That's what's funny about it. If you know who he is, you know that when him in a restaurant is the most depressing thing you've ever seen.
It's definitely pretty bad.
It's so bad, and they always mess up the food.
They do. So that was a horrible dream. I woke up and I was just like, what was that bullshit all about?
So
6 hours of that.
at least you woke up with no sore throat, right?
Mm-mm.
That's good.
I had just had one. I was getting over it.
Okay. So you got rid of that sore
yeah,
throat.
that was a horrible dream. It wasn't really scary.
What about you, Audrey? You were saying that you had a weird one.
Mine made me wake up pissed and anxious. So the dream starts, and I'm just going to start here. This is what I tell everyone when I tell it. Just don't ask questions, because none of it absolutely makes sense.
Okay.
So it starts off, these people have a baby, and he's like a year old now, and they want him to look like Donald Trump. So instead
They want him to.
Don't ask questions.
All right, okay.
I can't explain.
This may not be too far off. This might be law in a couple years.
Okay.
Every baby must look like him.
But
All right.
what they wanted to do to make him look like him was take him to, local veterinarian, of course,
Yeah.
and have his mouth slit open wider like the Joker.
Oh.
So my boss sends me in, and she's like, go ahead and take care of that. So I'm starting looking at this, and I'm like, this is freaking stupid. I'm like, I'm not being a part of this. So I leave the clinic. I come back, and she's done the procedure, so the kid's got like a weird, freaky mouth now. But then I realized, for some reason, my cat Binks is there. So I'm like, I see Binks, and Binks is walking around. And I look at him, and he's got cuts under, like, both of his shoulders, and he's got cuts over, like, his, like, thighs. And I'm like, I freak out. Like, I'm pissed. Like, I'm screaming and yelling, and I don't even cuss, but I'm, like, cussing in my dream at people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I said that. But, like, I'm like, you had...
Binks is like your baby.
Yeah, like...
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah, I think you even said on this show he's like a god.
He's a god.
That's right, yeah.
I'm calling him Binks-sama.
Binks-sama.
And I'm like yelling at him. I was like, you had no right to do this, my cat. I didn't give any of you permission. How dare you think you just have the right to do this?
Did the Donald
to my
Trump
cat?
baby do this?
No, it turns out the people thought it would be a good idea. So, like...
Well, they already thought it'd be a good idea to make their baby a
So
Trump.
they're already
Might as well
right.
cut up some cats, too.
So, like, cut to, we're in a restaurant, we're eating, and I see those people
That's the restaurant.
at the restaurant. So I make, like, a scene. I'm, like,
hell
throwing
yeah.
dishes at them. I'm saying the same thing to them I said to people that I work with. I'm, like, yelling and screaming about how could you do this to my cat. And they said... We did it to him because we thought when you made him into chicken wings, there would be less skin you gotta get through.
That is weird.
And I was like, still pissed. And I was like, that's not an acceptable answer.
I thought they were going to tell you we were trying to make him great again.
No.
No.
See, and one of the things I thought was if you're trying to make chicken, the skin is like the best part.
It
You
is.
don't want to get rid of it.
I mean,
do not.
apparently they thought it'd be better.
So they were trying to make chicken wings out of your
Out
cat.
of my cat. So I leave the restaurant.
Were they Asian?
I don't think so.
That got quiet.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
No, I think it was like a white suburban, like
Of course.
Your typical Trump
You're
supporter.
your typical Trump supporter, of course.
uneducated.
Exactly.
So I leave the restaurant, come back, Binks is there, but with a twist. Binks they took Binks, and like, have you seen like the Y cut that people do for like autopsies? Mm-hmm. So they've cut him into that shape.
Jesus.
But then crudely, like, wired him together with, like, this kind of wire from, like, a notebook. They wired him back together.
Oh.
They gouged out his eyes. They cut his face in half.
Jesus
they took a fork and a
Christ.
knife, stuck it to his shoulder, and then wired him to the wall.
Ooh.
And so then I'd, like, snap.
What the hell were you drinking?
Dude... I don't know. So I come back and I have found this, and like I said, I just like snap. So I start like attacking these people. For some reason, the father of that family has wire going through him too. It's just like a thing.
It's like this thing. Oh my
It's
god.
like something you see in like Mad Max.
Well,
Some
it's
weird
like,
thing that they just like
yeah,
wired
wired
him. So like we're fighting, and finally I get a hold of his wire, and I start pulling the wire out of his body and like ripping his skin and just
Does it
pulling
do
out
like
his neck.
like a Oogie Boogie from Nightmare?
Yeah, except it's like skin like stretching
my
and tearing.
God.
And I pull him all the way down, and like then I wake up heavy breathing. I wake up panting. I'm sweating. I wake up pissed at my boss, and I'm just like sitting there like. But then like reality sets in, and I was like, "That was a dream. I don't need to hate my boss right now."
That is the most fucked up
I woke
thing
up so mad.
I believe I've ever heard.
I know.
Ross is over
looking
here.
back, mine isn't so bad.
I was about to say, Ross is over here just shopping.
But it's funny.
And you're just ripping people's skin off, and
It's
Binks
funny
is being
because you know how like I'm like Binks is God.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But my friend Jason was talking. I told him about it. And he was like, I can't help but notice that Binks was like the Christ-like figure.
Oh yeah, that is pretty good.
Right.
I was like, I don't know, maybe, but that dream sucked. I could go without another one.
That is definitely one of the weirdest things I've ever heard.
It was really. Yeah.
You should hear about the one I had the next night.
Well, pray tell.
Well, the next night, I had a dream. It was you and me and Ross, and we were like chilling outside at my house, and I've lost some of the details at this point, but like we look up into space and we see like a spaceship. It's like a plane or something like that, but it's moving really quickly and sporadically, and we're like, oh, that's weird. Out of the sky comes a giant Santa Claus that's like evil. Like we can just know he's like evil. He's got like instead of like a sack that he's carrying, he's got like a Bowser shell. And his sleigh is being pulled by a giant gorilla. And so we're like, oh god, we gotta hide from this.
Oh god, we have to hide. We have to hide from the Santa gorilla guy.
So yeah, we like go and get in Mom's car, and we're like down, like everyone's like down, and I like look out the back view, and we just see like Santa Claus in the back.
Like
oh my god!
Yeah, and he like picks up the car and like throws it, and like I have the I can feel myself falling, and I have the thought being like, everyone put your head down because we're gonna land.
What the hell got into Santa, man?
That gorilla.
The gorilla.
Yeah. So the rest of the dream is just like us trying to survive.
Oh my god!
Wimping in.
How long can we keep this going?
Crap.
We've done this before.
Yeah, we have.
Well, I don't have anything along with the dreams, but I did see something weird about sushi. Does anybody here? Are we in accord that sushi's pretty good? Does anybody here like sushi? You don't like sushi?
I don't like sushi.
I'll eat it, but I don't like it.
I don't like nori.
I don't seek it out.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess none of us here like
I don't like the fact that it's so big and you have to put it all in your mouth at once.
Yeah,
and it's just, I feel like I'm choking on it. I'm like,
you can't bite it for it.
You can't bite it.
It'll fall apart if you bite it.
Well,
and it's one of those things I feel like you gotta eat fast, but she's right, like they're that big and you're just like, oh.
You do have to eat it quick.
You can't look attractive when you eat sushi. There's just no possible way.
I don't, I'm about like you, like sushi, whatever.
That was a quick change.
I know. We all like sushi. It's great.
Well, I mean, I like it. Here, let me explain. I like it, but it's not something that like I. Well, here, let me tell you. I had never had sushi before, but the day that I tried it, let me tell you, this is weird. The day that I tried it, I woke up that morning craving sushi.
You told me this before. I don't believe it.
Listen, I swear to you.
No one wakes up saying,
I woke up that...
Unless you're a bear.
I swear to you. No one, I swear to you. I woke up that morning.
Crave something I've never had before.
But see, this is what's weird.
You like the idea of it.
I
crave the idea.
Would you let me? Listen.
Sorry.
I woke up that morning. I had a craving for sushi. I'd never had it before, and I knew exactly what it tasted like.
Okay.
I was going to RC at the time. I left there, and I went to the place to get sushi. Right. I go over there. I get the sushi. It's exactly how I knew it would taste. I swear to you.
That's like prophetic sushi, man.
It is exactly...
You're a sushi prophet.
When I ate it, it was exactly like I imagined it tasting. But the thing is that like I'm indifferent towards it. I can eat it, but it's not something I'm like, oh, like some people I know, they're like, oh my god, let's go get sushi.
Yeah.
I'm not like that, okay?
Isn't it pricey too?
Yeah,
it is pretty pricey. But hey, let me tell you something that I read today. I saw this. I think it was in Vox. Not in the New York Times.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, they did a study on sushi. Some people went out, some kids at a college went out who were doing a science project. They went out and got some sushi, put it in little dishes, and they did a DNA test on it. Wasn't the fish that was said to be on the menu.
Oh, really?
And they said that they went around and did several sushi joints, and they found this, that a lot of the times the sushi that you are eating, that they say the fish is, isn't. It's other fish.
Ooh. Well, you know, fish is not even actually the most important part of sushi.
Yeah.
It's the rice.
And
it's not...
the fresher the sushi, it's not great to have like super fresh sushi. Like the best sushi master in the world like freezes his for like a week. Yeah. It's all about that rice though.
Yeah.
It's all about that rice, but yeah,
But no one is like, who is like a fish, like... Yeah, like who could tell? So it doesn't surprise me that they take advantage of that.
Like,
who's going to eat it?
This tuna tastes like cod.
Yeah,
well, actually, most fish kind of taste similar.
Yeah, it tastes similar.
It all has that like fishy taste.
Ross and I the other day,
What?
Let's add that to the list.
Similar.
He said, for this guitar, acoustic.
Yeah, he said, I
thought about it last week.
Oh my god. Acoustic.
No, that's something you play cool with.
It's exactly what I said.
Ross the other day, this was my fault, and I apologize. There's in like anime and like Japanese everything, you see them eating takoyaki, which is like a little like breaded ball with like octopus in it, and they like roll it really fast, and it's like a little thing, and it looks really.
It's a breaded ball with octopus in it.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Don't judge it yet.
Yeah. But see,
don't judge it yet, but you are right.
You are right. But let me tell you why you're right. So I'm thinking it's like a little cut up piece of octopus and it's like spread without, and it's like you bite into it and you're like, oh, is there octopus there? I don't know. So we ordered. They had it at our one of our favorite Japanese restaurants, and I was like, no, they wouldn't just put a tentacle in there. So we went to Kashin, and they were having like a special on takoyaki. So I was like,
and they're really good.
I'm trying takoyaki.
Yeah,
it's like $7. We got like 4 little balls of it, and I'm gonna eat this. This is gonna be so good. So I bite into it immediately. I'm like. There's a tentacle about that big.
Oh my god!
And it was like an inch-long tentacle, and I was just like, oh.
Oh my god! So it's like an octopus sandwich.
Sort of, but here's the thing. Here's the really sad part about it. Like, the bread stuff and the little sauce on top was, like, real good.
It's like if a cat ate a tentacle and then, like, coughed it up with a hairball.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it was like.
He's describing it very poorly.
That sounds
it tasted
awesome.
Good,
no, see, it's like,
biting into a tentacle.
Hey, let's go.
Audrey and I disagree on this. She thinks it tasted good, but didn't like the consistency. I don't mind the consistency, but it tasted horrible.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I mean, it wasn't like I enjoyed the consistency, but it didn't bother me.
This sounds awful.
It's
one day on the show, you should bring some.
Sure.
Some takoyaki?
Yeah. This sounds terrible. So you ate it because you saw it in anime and you thought
I did, and I just wanted to eat it.
Yeah. Food and cartoons always look better.
It always
looks
really
amazing.
good. And, like, the way they cook it, like, I don't know, if I ever go to Japan, which probably not, but if I ever go, I'm going to get, like, a street thing. Like, I'm going to try it again, because, like, the way they do it is they pour batter in these little circles, and they put a little thing, and then they, like, just, like, take chopsticks, and are like, tick, 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 like, it's so fast.
I would have to tell him, I'd be like, can you just leave the octopus off of it? Just make me the dough.
Can I get the takoyaki with, no.
Yaki?
Yeah. I don't know which one is octopus.
Can I just have a taco?
Well, that's what I thought when you first mentioned it. I was like, a taco. Hey, let me tell you something. Speaking of, like, really bad, yesterday I was eating lunch at where I work, and I went to the cafe down there, and they had this stuff called Japanese noodle salad. And so I thought, cool, I'll try it. You know? So I'll go over there and I get the Japanese noodle salad, and he reaches in with his tongs into the bowl for the noodles, and he pulls out these black noodles.
Oh, like squid ink noodles?
And he put it on the plate, and I instantly knew I'm not eating this. Because I was like, I even told him, I said, George, it looks like a bunch of worms you got there. But I told him. And so I was like, I'll give it a chance. Because he put some lettuce on it, some vegetables. And I thought, okay, we're getting there. And he's teeing off with some dressing. I said,
was it hot or cold?
It was cold. And that is when I realized, because when I took it, I was like, if it's warm, it'll be fine. But, I spooled it on the fork there and, took a bite. And I was like, that's cold. I'm not eating the rest of that. So I ate, like, all the lettuce and the veggies and then just, like, dumped
What made them black?
I don't know what to do. I was scared to ask.
I bet it's squid ink.
Do you think?
I think so. Well, that would be the only thing that could, right? In the food world that can make it black.
Unless it was like just coloring.
Yeah.
Do you think that they
get out of odd choice of like, hey, we have coloring. What do we want to do?
Well,
let's mix them all.
Maybe they were trying to like get the image of squid ink noodles without actually. You honestly think they brought squid ink to do that?
To where I work?
Yeah.
No.
So that's what I'm saying. I wonder if it was food coloring for the purpose of appearing like squid ink.
The food comes from a company called Cisco.
Oh.
That's where it comes from.
Do you think they would have done that?
Were they black bean noodles? Because
I think so. Like, they was...
Have you ever had a black bean noodle? It's not good.
Had they been...
Those are really bad.
It's like grainy dirt.
Had they been warm... I think I could have managed.
Maybe.
But like the fact that they were like,
cold noodles at all.
I don't like cold food.
Yeah.
I eat most of my food warm.
I'm okay with cold food, but not noodles.
Aaron, who sometimes comes on the show, he likes cold food.
Yeah.
And I
I can't think of anything I eat cold. I eat raw hot dogs every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I don't even do that. I don't really eat any. The only thing I eat cold is ice cream.
You're going to sling some hate my way, but they're really good.
Yeah, the only thing I eat cold is ice cream, and well, that's supposed to be so.
You ever get that hot ice cream from Sunny Skies?
No.
Had to sign 2 medical waivers to try it.
What'd you think when you tried it? To preface for you, there's a ice cream shop nearby called Sunny Skies who the guy created a spicy ice cream, and he appeared on Good Morning America.
He did, but what it is they took the ingredients for pepper spray and mixed it into ice cream, and I had 3 different levels of it. I had just a regular ice cream with the stuff mixed in, and then I was like, guys, come on, medical waiver. And then the second one was ice cream with like a chili in it, like a whole like ingredient. I guess they hadn't like ground it up. It was like the whole thing. So I ate that, and I was like, guys, again. So finally they brought out like the powder from pepper spray, and I tried that, and then that made my stomach hurt.
I didn't ingest that.
I don't think you should ingest that.
They just like popped it in my hand, and I was just like,
I mean, it's like that's shit they used to stop criminals.
Yeah.
And they're feeding it to you.
I was like, you guys are putting... And I'm sitting there like, yeah, I'll eat it. But yeah, I had to sign 2 medical waivers. Not sure what that was all about, but I mean, I guess
it might have been like
for some people it was probably really hot.
It might have just been like a gimmick.
Yeah.
I tried that like ghost pepper stuff at Buffalo Wild Wings, and they come out with like they have to wear goggles,
and they have a little siren,
and it's got a little thing stuff that say like.
Ross was like, if I'd have known that, I would not have.
I wouldn't have.
We kind of wanted to tell her, be like, just don't.
I just want the wigs.
Well, she said something. Didn't she say something like, "Oh, I gotta get the goggles"? And I thought she was joking.
Yeah.
I saw her coming back with goggles. I was like,
"Oh, she really had to go get the goggles."
She really went and got goggles.
Were you able to do it? Were you able to eat them?
Yeah, I didn't eat them all. Like,
they were
right
not hot.
They weren't. They were hot enough to kind of ruin it.
That stuff I had last night at the Mexican restaurant. She and I went to a Mexican restaurant, and I put this green sauce into.
Salsa verde.
It was that green stuff?
It was habanero. Yeah.
Good Lord. I put too much.
Yeah, he was just like, I'll just do a little bit.
So you gotta like do the pinky.
Look, it was instant. My face changed, I think. I took a bite of the chip, and I was just like, oh my God, what have I done? And like it was burning. I had to stop.
I had something like that before. I was babysitting some kids, and we're like, kids, they just eat chicken nuggets. So I made chicken nuggets, and they were like, yeah, we got some hot sauce in the fridge. I was like, all right, sweet. So I get the hot sauce. I pour it all over my nugget. I don't even read the hot sauce because I'm like, it's hot sauce.
Yeah.
Pour it all over the nuggets. Eat the first nugget, and I'm like,
that's hot.
I spend the next, 20 minutes, chugging milk, which I hate, but I was just like,
Yeah. Oh, I love milk. I need to go get me some milk after the show. Anyway, I've actually discovered something new that I like. And I love it, actually. I've become addicted already. The Bachelor.
Okay. That just sounds like the worst.
What a great show. It's the
dumbest show.
It really is.
I mean, it is. But that is what I think I enjoy about it. Is that I cannot believe that this is happening. I think when I watch it, I have this moment of I can't believe these people, 1, exist.
Yes.
Yeah.
2, this is how they're looking for love.
Yeah.
So, The Bachelor is the one where there's a bunch of ladies who are like, I love him.
Yes.
After a day and a half.
Yep.
And then
this guy,
the opposite.
This guy gets to do something.
And then there's Bachelors in Paradise, which is whenever all the people that lost in the previous season go to a different island and try to date everybody else. So it's this clusterfuck orgy that's happening.
Well, what's interesting is that this guy gets to, for those of you who haven't seen the show, this guy gets to have 30, something I'll never know, 30 women.
Go on The Bachelor.
That's right. This guy. Well, here's the thing. I started, Ari was like, let's watch The Bachelor, because I think you watch it regularly. Yes?
I started watching it because of a communications class, and then now I watch it because it makes me feel better about myself.
Yeah. It does. So, you will watch this, and you'll be like, God, I think I have it all right.
Sometimes I'll be like, wow, I'm such a shitty person. On The Bachelor, I'm like, maybe I'm not.
Yeah. There is a girl who's currently on the show who's competing. Her name is Corinne, and she is.
She's your favorite?
No,
she's crazy.
She is 24 years old, and she has a nanny.
She has a nanny. She doesn't have kids.
She doesn't.
She has a nanny for her 24-year-old self.
Is she,
oh man, I want one of those.
Yes.
She says she owns a multi-million-dollar company.
I don't know how
she owns the
She
company.
doesn't like she wipes her own ass.
Does she? Do we know what company she owns?
No.
I mean, it doesn't say on the show.
Can we do some digging?
We could probably dig.
We could probably dig. Oh, I like
She's
to dig.
crazy.
But she's crazy. But it got me thinking.
Do you think it's real though? I mean, do you think they're kind of like
No, I was telling her because like you can kind of see this guy who when he's with this girl, like she's the one who's causing all the drama on the show, right? She's the one who none of the girls like.
Right.
I am convinced that this guy wants to get rid of her right now, but I feel like the producer said you can't. Because currently she's the only storyline we got. So I feel like sometimes they do set things up for people to do because they, at the end of the day, they have to make a show.
Right. The producers are intense. I got to meet the producer from the Canadian Bachelor because apparently there's one in Canada too. Go figure. It's not just the United States.
Then you live in Canada.
And she said that their rose ceremony, when they hand out the flowers, they keep them up drinking from 10 p.m. until about 4 or 5 in the morning. They black out the curtains or green screen it so it still looks like it's night. And then they have them drunk and super intoxicated and exhausted so that whenever they do hand out the flower, they make them wait 30 seconds in between saying, like, this one goes to this person. So that it's guaranteed that one person will cry. How messed up is that?
Oh my God.
Like, God dang.
Well, it got me thinking. You know how I am.
It is.
That's pretty.
You know how I'm an idea guy, and I come up with some great ideas. I've come up with some beautiful ideas on this show.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I've got yet another one. I've got another one. This is brilliant.
Great.
I've got an idea for my own version of The Bachelor, but I'm going to tell you how this is going to go. This would be great. You take a guy, say a guy like myself, right? Who is single and who is, I guess, technically a bachelor there. Yeah. You take a normal Joe, you put him there. You go out and you get 30 girls to date this guy. But here's the thing. You go out and you get a wide range of 30 women. You don't go out and get 30 supermodels. You get like a couple 300-pound chicks. You get like a wide range of some homely looking girls. Wide range of girls. Okay.
Oh my God.
But here's the thing. You also get a guy like myself who that half the girls that show up to this thing don't want to even date the guy when it starts. And you put these people together. So when he comes out to see the 30 pics, he's like, woo. Like, this is going to be rough. Like, I like that. That would be so funny. You don't get like a really, because the guy on The Bachelor, dude, I don't know why he even needs to be on The Bachelor. He could probably go anywhere.
He's probably like an aspiring actor. Wants to,
probably.
But what would really be funny, you don't go get a supermodel and put him with 30 supermodels who are all hot, right? All those girls on the show are hot, and any dude, that's the thing, any guy would kill to date them, but they go, oh, I'll never find love. No, that's because what they're looking for, right?
Yeah.
They're looking for that guy. But you take a normal dude and you put him and you tell him, all right, we're going to give you 30 women a day. Yeah. But you don't tell them what kind of 30 women, right? But you go out, you go out and you find, you find some crack whores, you find prostitutes, you find, big old women, like you find women missing a leg or something, just whatever. Like you just go, a couple of old women, old senior citizens. Yeah. Like you find all these women, just women who are single who need love, right? Yeah. And you put them with this guy, and then maybe you do get like 2 like really hot chicks who are like, we're out. We're out. We don't even want to know the guy. We don't even want to know his name. Yeah. But that would be the best show. And you put all those women in a house together, and you just send this nerdy like loser guy over there every day.
They did something like, I think it was called like Beauty and the Geek.
Yeah, that was Beauty and the Geek, but that was, they had like the pretty women and they had the really intelligent men. Yeah. Or the really nerdy guys.
Yeah. You get like an average Joe,
right?
Maybe flipping burgers, just doing a job.
But I think that's actually really smart because that takes away the superficial appearance aspect.
That's the point of it.
Because then you get to remember that these people are people, and sometimes are way much more interesting.
What would be so cool?
I'm here for a husband.
Yeah. Like that's
what
you see. Like you see 30 of those women almost every month. Like it's fine.
Right.
Yeah. I think it'd be fun because imagine too when you actually do, when it actually does click. I mean, the two. God, how cool would that be? I'm telling you, that would be a really cool show because one of them he's gonna like, and one of them is gonna like him.
Yeah.
And when they finally you would get to see love actually happen. Not this shit. Yeah. You get to see love actually happen. But how they have to go on dates all the time. Like they go on yachts and they go to clubs.
Like a private island.
Like they would just go to like Burger King. They actually did that in the last season. They just went to Burger King. Their budget ran out. So
I swear that would be what you would do. You just be like, we're taking you guys out for a romantic candlelit dinner at Burger King, and you have like all things set up.
I think that'd be hysterical.
Do you remember I don't know if it was in America, but there was a show that was like that, but they got transvestites. I don't know if that's like the appropriate word to call them now, but they got women who were born men and a straight guy who didn't know this, and he was like kissing men basically without knowing it.
Oh, Jesus.
I think there was a lot of problems with that because he got really upset. And was like,
there are a lot of problems with that.
Yeah. That was a weird one.
I had a friend who used to watch that show. What was it? It was like a girl. There was like 2 gay guys and 1 straight guy, and you had to guess which guy was the straight guy.
I don't remember hearing that.
I don't remember what that was called. It was like
I don't remember that.
2 gays and a straight or something like that.
Sounds good to me.
I don't know.
2 gays and a straight.
Yeah,
sounds like a party.
They would have like 30-minute like micro dates for like 1 episode, and the girl would have to be like, he's the straight one, and I was like, no.
What do you win?
I think you win the straight guy.
I was gonna say, I think this is to ensure everyone's happy because the 2 gay guys leave together and then the 2 straight people leave together.
Yeah. Can't remember what that was called. I don't think it lasted very long.
I hope it's called 2 gays and a straight.
2 gays and a straight.
If not, they missed an opportunity.
Yeah. That was great.
But yeah, I think I really want to make that show. I just have to find.
It's not the worst idea you've ever had.
That's true.
Certainly not. I've never had a bad idea.
Well,
like all of them except for this one.
This would be great.
Because the other ones already are ideas.
Yeah.
Or they just wouldn't work.
I was going to say that
waiting in line.
Like that ball car?
The ball car. The pod, man. The pod was a beautiful idea.
The challenge still stands. You build that pod, I will steal it.
Yeah.
And you won't know.
Hey,
yes. I forgot about that.
Actually, speaking of stealing, that'll be a really good segue because I have a funny story about someone had something stolen. I could go right into. But before I say that, to pitch my show real quick to anyone listening, if you are interested in seeing this show and you want to be on this show, if you are a single woman
or a single man,
please comment or something. We will put you on this show.
On this show?
No, on my Bachelor show.
Oh, okay.
What would you call it?
The Bumbling Bachelor.
That's good. The Bumbling Bachelor. We'll call it the Bumbling Bachelor. And it'll just be, yeah, we'll just have we're just looking for an average guy. We don't want a supermodel. We just want you're a normal guy. You have not been able to find love yet. We want you. We're going to hook you up with someone. We can't promise what it'll be, but it'll be female and she will be interested. Yeah. Anyway.
If that's what you're into.
Well, for the show, that's what we need.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do a spin-off season later. But my pod, yes. I have a funny story. Someone's car got stolen today. Someone I know. And here's what happened.
It's so funny. I'm laughing. That's funny. Terrible.
This is funny to me. But they went outside. It was kind of cold, right? They went outside to go warm up their car. They went back inside. Someone stole it.
While it was warming up.
Someone hopped in and took it.
But that's kind of their fault, though.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Is what I told them is there's actually that's illegal. You can't do that. There's a law against that.
Oh, really?
About stealing cars?
No.
Well, yeah.
That is about turning on your car and leaving it running. There actually is a law against that. You can get a $200 fine. Yeah. So I said, what'd be funny is if the cops find your car, they bring it back to you and they say, we've got good news and we've got bad news.
No.
Good news is we found your car. Bad news is $200 fine.
There's something similar like that. There was a guy a year or so ago who was speeding because he was trying to get his pregnant wife to the hospital because she was giving birth, and he called for a police escort, and they came and escorted him, and he was going really, really quickly. She delivered the baby. The officer came in and said, "Congratulations on the son. Here's a ticket for speeding."
Cops suck.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
That sucks. That sucks. Speaking of which, I guess it's time for our brand new segment here on the show. It's time for the Trump check-in.
Okay. The Trump check-in.
The Trump check-in.
His mental asylum?
Possibly. So, we have been in Trump's America for a few days now.
Do you think if he went into an asylum, he'd have gold-plated padded rooms?
Probably. That'd be really bad.
I think so.
But really good. It'd be bad for him, good for us.
Yeah.
It'd be the best padding, the fantastic padding.
Because then you go to bang his head and he'd start cracking.
I've got the best padding in my room. There's nothing.
My room is better than anybody else's room.
Lies.
Remember, my room is bigger than everyone's room. More people come to visit me every day.
So, I'm trying to think where to start because there's so much to dissect of what's been going on. It has not been boring.
Well, did you hear that his pissing thing? It's been proven true.
What's his pissing thing?
Where he got girls to piss.
You hadn't heard about this?
What? No.
Showers.
Did he R. Kelly? Oh, did he R. Kelly?
I think so.
Oh.
Well, it's been proven true by me. I'm just giving alternate facts.
Oh my god!
That's good. So let's start with the inauguration. I watched the inauguration. I watched it from the dentist chair. I was having my teeth cleaned while I was watching it. What an experience that was.
I did not.
She actually told me, the dentist, when I was looking at it while she's cleaning my teeth, and she said,
playing right?
It was on everywhere in the dentist's office. Well, here's the funny thing. She says, would you want me to turn that up for you? And I said, lady, I'd rather have a root canal. She laughed and she said, I'm with you. But anyway, I watched it. I listened to his speech. Okay. And then, there wasn't a whole lot there. I did notice the America First thing. Sounds like we're going back to the old days where, we're putting America first, aren't we?
Yeah.
And then, after that, though, my favorite part was, here's what I read in the Washington Post. Okay, so I was reading the Washington Post this morning, and a story came out saying that Trump got done with the parades, the inauguration, all that stuff. He goes back. The first thing they said he did was he ran and he turned on the TV because he wanted to see what everyone was saying about his inauguration.
Oh my gosh.
That was the first thing he did.
Sounds surprising.
He turns it on, and what does he see? He sees everyone talking about the low crowd size.
Yeah.
They said that enraged him beyond point, to where he told his press secretary to go out immediately and set the record straight. Now,
set the record
Not
straight.
just that it wasn't bad, but it was the best ever.
His advisors told him. His advisors told him, no, do it in a tweet. Like you do. That's what they told him.
That's pathetic.
He said
compromise is still bullshit, but
he
change
said,
the way you do it.
He said, no, I'm not doing that. Go out there. So they had, obviously, as we know, his press secretary came out there, said it was the best inauguration ever, most attended inauguration ever.
The first time ever, they put white tarps down so that they could highlight the amount of people there.
Yeah.
But did just say it, angrily.
Yeah.
Angrily.
He was, mad.
Well, it turns out that all of that was not true.
Of course it was.
It wasn't true. And, but the thing is that Trump got mad after that because he was mad at his press secretary because he said that he didn't do a good enough job
at lying.
Yeah. And then he said that he read from a prepared piece, which he didn't want him to do. He wanted him to go out there and just give it his all. And now there's talks that Trump actually wants to get rid of that guy.
Yeah.
But Reince Priebus said, no, we have to keep him. Kellyanne Conway goes on ABC.
We all know how that turned out.
On ABC, she actually said that Trump's tax returns was never going to be released. That it was bogus.
Yeah.
Which means that there is something in Trump's tax return.
Well,
I just would love to know.
When he got the presidency, everyone was like, "Oh, well, maybe now he'll do it because he wants."
Why would he?
He has even less reason to do it now than he did before. If he could win it without.
You heard about the lawsuit, though, right?
The lawsuit, yes.
Yeah.
I read that in the Times. So the lawsuit is coming about. Which, by the way, he apparently broke. A couple of ethical business dealings when he laid his hand on the book and swore in. By the way, today was interesting when he's going to do the pipeline again.
Yep.
And he said
after all of that,
he's reinstating the Dakota pipeline and the XL pipeline. They're going to build those now.
Yeah.
I just wonder, are they still going to build to the Indian ground? Are they going to go around like the Army Corps
I think
engineers?
they're probably just going to go right through.
I think so.
I couldn't find that 100%, but knowing him, he'll just be like,
just go for it.
you thought you were going to protest?
This is a dude who takes homes from people because he wants the property.
Yeah.
But what's interesting,
Trump
has business dealings with steel.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he wants the steel pipes made in America. So who's going to make
Not
those
one
pipes?
of his other 32 countries that were recently started elsewhere.
Yeah, but like my thing is like, who's going to make those pipes? Then is Trump? Are businesses that Trump kind of has going to do that?
I wonder.
Yeah,
Hey, look, when
I can't imagine which business.
I think it was Gerald Ford.
I mean, he's not in charge of any company, so he won't know.
Oh right.
Oh,
If it just happens, it's going to be a mistake.
Right.
I think it was
It's not gonna be intentional.
Gerald Ford. I think owned a peanut farm, and I think he sold his peanut farm when he became president.
Yeah. That's asking a lot.
Yeah.
So
So
you don't just get
Give
a
up.
peanut farm and then throw it away.
yeah, you
That's
don't
right.
just give up your peanut farm. This man gave up his peanut farm
be
because he wanted to be president. He sacrificed his peanuts.
Yeah.
He sacrifices nuts
He sacrificed his nuts
to be the president.
To be the president. Has Donald Trump sacrificed his nuts?
Hell no.
Does
No.
he have it?
That's what I was about to ask. Follow-up question.
Does he have nuts?
I think he left them in Vladimir Putin's asshole.
Damn.
But what does it say? Usually
I
the
wonder
first.
he looks so angry all the time.
Usually,
Trump looks like he's getting like a pine cone shoved up his ass. He always
told-
looks like something's coming up his ass.
I
Either
told
up
my
or out.
roommate the other day, his Twitter account, Donald Trump's new Twitter account with the presidency.
Yeah.
I told him the other day, his profile picture, he looks so fucking mad. And I said, why does
It's
this
just
man
his face.
look this angry all the time? But here's
Like
one.
frozen like
He's
that.
got the
from all those
RBF, man.
In the same article, I want to get your opinion on this. In the same article that I read in the Post, he was saying, the guy who wrote the article was saying that Trump has this mentality to where he's constantly feeling like he has to prove that he is the best, that he is bigger than everyone else, and that he did this. And I thought he is still going on.
This is narcissistic.
He is still fighting the fact that he would have won the popular vote had so many illegals vote. But here's the thing:
Yeah, that's his.
you won.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Well,
If this is how he wins,
Yeah.
how would he lose? Maybe we'll find out in 4 years.
But it's
Shit.
it's like you can tell what bothers him. You can tell that no one showing up bothered him because he whined about it. He sent his little friend out. You can tell that losing the popular vote bothers him because he's still complaining about it. It's like I was telling Roger, he is like,
But he's
it's ill.
won.
Like he's ill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick. Like I was saying to Andrew that he is like a scared, wounded little boy in the body of this grotesque monster. He's still trying to prove himself to it's like a little kid trying to prove himself to his parents.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to do.
Melania has to lay next to that grotesque body.
No, she
God.
doesn't.
I don't think she.
She popped out the one kid and was like, all right.
I can't believe they did that.
Yeah, but I saw an article today where, do you know, I feel like we always talk about Twilight Zone, but you know the episode of Twilight Zone where there's the kid with the mind powers, and he's like, "Oh, you thought something bad about me? All right, Jack in the Box." Or, you have a negative thought, and you're not,
They just disappear.
And he just vanishes people. And there's an article comparing him to that child. He's like a scary 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Well,
we're only a few steps away from him being like one of the Kim Jongs. Or being mad.
Where he's
I'm a
expunging god and I don't
from
poop.
history books and exactly.
He got mad at a military officer one time in his closest group of people, entourage, I guess is what you would call it for him, an entourage, because it's not really like they're advisors.
Right.
They don't advise him on anything.
Yeah.
But in his entourage, so he strapped him to a post and killed him with an anti-tank
Oh, Kim Jong-un did.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was about to say,
God,
how has this not come out?
how bad that is that we actually thought it was Trump.
Yeah.
No, I did.
Kim Jong-un killed that advisor with an anti-tank
and
round.
the mandatory crying whenever he walks along the streets, all those little all the girls have to cry. He has a pleasure group where it's a bunch of 16 to 19-year-old girls who have to take care of his every need. Trump's not far away from being that kind of person. But you remember Kim Jong-il, his father, said that the first time he ever played golf, he got a hole-in-one on every single hole.
That's impossible.
That is Trump right there.
Yeah.
Trump would say something that stupid.
He said he played golf better than that. I forget. It was one of the earlier when the Russian thing first came about. When he was on, I think it was 60 Minutes. Anyway, he was bragging about his golf game. But yeah, historically, usually the first press conference of the administration usually sets the tone.
Yeah.
If that is,
and this was usually angry lies.
If that is,
that's a good sound to say.
I'm about to say, if that is the tone, then we are in for a very interesting 4 years. One other thing, TPP is no more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Trans-Pacific, that's gone.
Yeah.
A lot of people are okay with that.
Yeah.
I know Bernie Sanders.
China's very okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, China's probably going to be the next world power. We should also probably, you know, that guy. Remember the crazy guy I told you about on the show who was burying all the Chinese money because he might have been onto something.
Yeah, but he thought he had to do that for Obama.
Yeah. That's ironic, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, how
it's very ironic. Did you see? Trump said something to Melania. And that, like, her face completely dropped. Have you seen that?
Yeah, she was standing behind him and she was
smiling.
She was just
like
kind of stoic at first, and then he turns around. She's happy, like, "Oh, good for you." And it looks like he's like yelling at her.
He says something.
Turns back around, her face just dropped.
She looked like a kid who got like scolded.
And did you see whenever he was walking up to the Obamas, how he walks up the steps first, leaves her at the car. Yeah. And then he goes up and he's like, "I'm here," and like pushes practically past them. And then they're like, both Obamas are like, "Melania, it's okay." Yeah. Like they comfort her, and I'm like,
that showed the difference between class because he just walked and ignored everyone. Obama stayed behind Melania to let both of the women go in front of him.
Yes.
Another interesting was
Obama's a boss.
Yeah. Well, another interesting was Hillary Clinton was there, and did you see how she came out? She came out with Bill Clinton like holding onto her, like they like switched the reversal. Like he was on her arm, she wasn't on his arm. I thought that was kind of cool.
That's awesome.
I also saw one where they're waiting to leave. This is after the ceremony, and Obama's standing there, and Michelle comes over, and he takes her by the hand, kisses her hand, and then puts it down. And then Donald Trump's standing there, and Melania just comes and stands next to him, and they're not even looking at one another.
And there's so
much difference.
I know. I forget who it was, but there was someone who who was sending out messages saying like, "Melania, like blink twice if you're being captured."
Right. That became a hashtag. Save Melania.
Save Melania. Please let us know if you need help.
I honestly, like, I don't know how I feel about any of his family, but like, I have to imagine he's worse than. Everyone's talking about like Barron. Like, it's kind of sad seeing Barron because it's like here's like a kid who's like has yet to be corrupted. He's only like 10.
Yeah.
So you see him and he looks like a sweet, happy little kid, and it's like, God, I hope he doesn't turn out to be like his other siblings. He might not because he spends most of his time with his mother, not with Trump. So maybe that.
Hopefully, she's a decent person, and you know what? I think she is because she actually went and at least put thought into getting Michelle a gift.
Gave her her speech back.
Gave her her speech back.
What did you see?
What's his name said that it was we didn't have to give her speech back because my mom never stole her speech. Michelle stole it from.
Really?
Yeah, like it was one of Trump's sons was like, wow. Michelle stole it from the American people like they've been stealing. It was a stupid display at trying to pivot.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
So that's the Trump check-in. We'll come back next week and see where else we're at.
We didn't even talk about the Planned Parenthood thing.
Do you want to talk about the Planned Parenthood?
I want to talk about the Planned Parenthood thing.
We're back with the Trump check-in.
I feel like that's the most important thing.
Well, you know what? Thank you, because I actually did want to bring
Anytime.
I saw this cool, it was like, I guess a meme, it was him and the 6 other people in the Oval Office signing the papers, and it said like, you will never see 7 women writing laws about what a guy can do with his dick.
Because we don't freaking care. As long as you don't rape somebody.
Seriously.
Yeah.
There's actually something interesting about him. I've been watching him sign the bills. He doesn't know. Because the other day when he put
you can just stop right there.
He doesn't know.
He just
when he put the
whenever he was like looking at the paper, he's like, "Okay, now what do I do?" And he's like, "Oh no, you sign over here." And
yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And then
like he was looking at the wrong side of the paper.
The whole he can't read thing.
When he did the,
I don't think he can.
When he did the federal hiring freeze, he writes, hands him the thing. He takes it and he goes, This is the federal hiring freeze. He goes, but this is not for military, right? And Priebus goes, yeah. He's like, okay. So what this is the federal hiring freeze.
It's irate it.
So he tells her, he goes, so what this is the federal, but it's not for military. They still, and he looks at his people. He clearly has no idea. They put that away. They hand him something else, and he's like, okay, so this is for TPP. We're going to get rid of this. This is going to be
And he's like, now what does that stand for one more time?
I remember hearing Obama talk about his schedule, and he was talking about how he would not get to sleep till like 3 a.m. because he was up just reading law books, just reading laws, reading documents, so he could know everything. It's like Trump's up till like 3 tweeting about like how he's.
They give him like highlights. It's like, what is this? This abortion. Oh yeah, no.
So the Planned Parenthood thing.
Yeah. So. What the heck?
So
I mean, it's so in line.
He stopped the federal funding for that. And, I mean, not only does it affect, abortions are hard now, you can't, like, recommend that. Like, that's not something you can say, okay, well, here are your options. You can't give options anymore. Mm-hmm. But it goes past that. Like, for someone to say, I'm pro-life, but then to say, I also don't want to help with, federally funded childcare. I don't want to help with federally funded parent planning. I don't want to help with any of those programs that help these people. Mm-hmm. That's not pro-life. I'm sorry.
No, and yeah, pro-life is such an undeserved title that they get because they're not pro-life.
No.
They don't give a fuck about the life.
No.
They're just pro-fetus.
Yeah.
Well,
as soon as it's born, they're like, well, whatever.
Well, and also,
exactly. They don't want to put any responsibility into caring with that. It's like, well, that's your problem.
Yeah. Then,
maybe you shouldn't have gotten pregnant. It's like, well, I would have, but you took my contraception away.
Exactly, because like for lower income families, like, well, then I have to go to welfare. They're like, oh, we don't want to pay for welfare. You're just doing crack. You're like, no, I'm providing for the babies that you made me have.
That you wouldn't give me a choice to have.
Yeah, it's super gross what they're doing, but it's like they don't want to take care of it. They have such disdain for anyone who needs any assistance. Mm-hmm. These people grow up in low income, so they grow up in bad neighborhoods. Yeah. There's a good chance of them going into some kind of crime. Mm-hmm. They don't like criminals. They don't like the thugs. Right. And then they get caught.
But Trump is so good with the inner city.
Yeah.
He's great with the inner city.
But then they...
Herman Cain and Steve Harvey are going to fix things.
Cain?
Yeah.
I think you mix up your black guys.
Oh, who is it?
Ben Carson.
Ben Carson.
Oh my God, Steven.
Ben Carson.
Stop.
No, Steve Harvey is on the face.
Yeah, Steve Harvey is.
Yeah, Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey has been...
sounds like
a joke.
You're completely justified thinking that was a joke.
Oh my God, that's not a joke?
No.
But no, it's like Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey is gonna... Trump tapped Steve Harvey to come work with the inner cities.
But they don't... It's like...
Okay. All right.
But they don't like these people once they're born.
No.
And then, like, say they get into some crime. Say they go to prison. They're pro-death sentence.
Yeah. They're like, kill them.
They're so... Life is so precious unless it's someone they don't like.
Hang them.
Yeah, I mean, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
They at least have the decency to get your bullshit straight.
Yeah.
They're all over the place.
And I don't remember if I said, but this also affects not only the United States, but I think it was like over 180 countries that we support through this.
Yeah.
And so now, like,
other countries,
seriously impoverished countries are like, what do I do now? Mm-hmm.
Get AIDS.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to
get AIDS and have a bunch of babies that I didn't want because I got raped.
America first. What did you think of the Women's March? That was quite impressive.
I thought it was great, but
that was a big slap in the face the next day.
I was going to say that was his response to the Women's March.
But here's the thing with the Women's March. Although it was very impressive that they got the turnout that they did, it wasn't about anything.
Well, it wasn't.
Because
it was definitely about something.
Because what they didn't do in politics, what you have to do is you have to get the other people to come to your side.
I don't know if it was. I mean, yeah, there's definitely
they
wanted some kind of political outcome.
What they did was
a slam to him.
Yes, but what they did is that, well, for one, it took away his crowd size at his inauguration.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Great job, great job.
That's where you need to hit him. You can't hit him with something smart.
Intellectual.
Hang on,
you gotta hit him at the pettiest spots.
Hang on,
that's where he goes.
Hang on. What they did was they gathered en masse when it was big. God, if you see the pictures, even here in Raleigh. It
was all over the world, too.
Yeah, it was all over.
It was everywhere.
They got the attention of Washington maybe to say, like, we're here, we can see this. But what they did not do was the people who we talk about, who we don't like, the people who are the pro-lifers that they say, they did nothing to reach those people. They did nothing to reach and say, this is why you need to come to our side. They just got out. What did Fox show? What did Fox News show? They showed all the things with the people with the signs, the crazy, saying how much they hate the people who are watching that network. They did nothing to reach those people, which in politics goes on deaf ears.
I think it was definitely a scare tactic too. I think that it was saying a lot of us dropped the ball in assuming Hillary Clinton had this, but look at how many people we have. In 4 years, you can be sure this is what you're going to see.
If those people still go out and vote, because a lot of those people,
they will.
A lot of those people, the Democratic Party had nothing to do with that.
Oh, I know.
There were Democrats that didn't go to that because they don't care. These are just regular people. So these people have to come out and vote. A lot of those people did not vote.
Or 11,000 of them voted for a dead gorilla.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm saying, like, okay, I see you guys in the street.
Yeah.
But like you said, 4 years from now, please be in the street still and ready to vote.
I think they will, and I think that's what it was about. I think it was showing how much the opposition.
I think it was also proving to the world that we did not collectively want him to be our leader, because everyone's like, "Oh, Trump's going to be leader." Even foreign countries are like, "Fuck him." We're like, "Yeah,
well,
fuck
I don't
him
know."
too.
He had that press conference last night. 3 to 5 million votes were cast illegally, so he definitely won the vote.
I like how he didn't stop at 3 to get it to say he won. He stopped at 5, so that he didn't just win; he destroyed her.
He won by so much, the most ever anyone has
But
won.
Ariana, the thing what you just said, I like the fact that they're in the streets now, but I almost feel like
they need to hold on to that.
Well, they need to, but it's almost like, the fuck, guys? Where was this? Where was this in November?
I'm still for him, though, because Ross is right. Like, Trump is too stupid for you to say, "Oh, I'm going to sue you, and I'm going to have all these big words that you don't understand because you can't read." Mm-hmm. They have to say, "We had more people at my rally than your inauguration."
Yeah.
Are you pissed yet?
It enraged him. They used the word enraged.
And that's but the thing, to get to what you were saying, though, with like trying to sway people, you're not going to.
No.
They're not going to be swayed. So I don't even think that was even a possibility. Yeah. So I don't think that was a point of what they were trying to do.
Did you hear Kellyanne Conway? This is one of the reasons that people are trying to boycott her.
I'm sorry.
They're trying to boycott Kellyanne Conway because she's just full of, every time she lies, every time she has a press conference, she just lies.
Todd calls
or
it
gives
sleepy
alternative
eyes.
facts.
He calls it sleepy.
Well, I was super happy about hearing this, because a few weeks ago we were talking, and I was talking about how the media didn't do their job, and if you're going to have people come on and just lie, then they don't need to be on.
Yeah.
So I'm happy finally.
Finally, like, a lot of journalists and a lot of professors are speaking out, and they're like, "Don't freaking interview her anymore. She's an idiot. She's lying."
She was on the Morning Joe every other day.
Yeah. And she don't need to be. Don't put her on TV.
I just got to the point where I thought they just had a revolving door that if she showed up that day, we'll get her a mic. Put her on.
What gonna say now?
But yeah, she just...
But you should not give voice to lies.
No. Because people who...
The media needs to hold this accountable.
Are going to be like, "Oh,
listen,
yeah, that's totally true."
I do not want the media to back down on this. Whatever this administration does, they need to go through it with a fine-tooth comb.
Yeah.
They need to hold this administration accountable.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what they need to do. But moving on, let's get out of Trump check-in. Let's go into something fun. It's time for Ross's quiz. And Ross has a theme for us this week.
Yeah, I do. To honor the great 45th president.
Oh, yeah.
Is a president-themed...
A president-themed quiz? Is that what we got?
Still have never referred to him as such.
Mm-hmm. I don't mind.
And will not.
I just call him Trump.
I don't mind. He'll always
He's just Trump.
Okay, are we ready?
We're ready.
Ready
for the presidential quiz.
Is it always just 5 questions?
It's 5 questions for multiple choice.
Okay.
Question number 1.
Okay.
Donald Trump isn't the first person to completely lower the country by injecting vile, inflammatory rhetoric into an election cycle. Mm-hmm. One such incident was when whose presidency was claimed to bring about murder, robbery, rape, and adultery. Incest will be openly taught and practiced. The air will be rent with cries of the distressed. The soil will be soaked with blood, and the nation black with crime. Was that going to happen in a Cleveland presidency, a Van Buren presidency, a Jefferson presidency, or a Taft presidency? It's quite a charge.
No cheating. Stop it.
I'm not looking.
I see you looking.
I'm not looking at you. I know you. I know you don't. I know you don't know the answer. You probably don't know. You don't even know any of those presidents he just named.
What?
You're like, we had a president named Cleveland.
Actually, I know Cleveland. He had a really cool mustache. That's all I remember.
So who would bring about murder, robbery, rape, and adultery? Incest being openly taught in practice. The air rent with cries of the distress. It sounds like a Shakespeare monologue.
Yeah.
Say the presidents one more. Say the presidents one more time with you.
Cleveland, Van Buren, Jefferson, or Taft.
Was Taft the one that got stuck in the bathtub?
He was the fat guy. I think.
Yeah. He was the
Yes.
first
See, I know presidents.
dude. That's impressive.
That's a fun name, Taft.
Taft in the bath.
Okay, do we have our answers?
I have my answers.
Okay, you want to go first?
Oh.
Yeah,
we just go. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
I put C.
C, Jefferson.
Yes.
Okay, Justin.
I also put Jefferson.
LinkedIn.
I did
too.
Jefferson.
Well, you're all right. It was Jefferson.
Yes.
Okay.
Eat it, bitch.
This is a good start. Good start.
All right.
Question number 2. While Donald Trump may be the U.S. president with the smallest dick in history, James Madison is our shortest and lightest. How short was he and how much did he weigh?
Oh shit.
Was James Madison 5'2" and 73 pounds? Was he 5'4" and 100 pounds? Was he 5'5" and 90 pounds? Or was he 4'9" and 86 pounds?
People were smaller back then.
Because they didn't have all that sugar.
Will you read the answers again?
5'2" and 73 pounds, 5'4" and 100 pounds, 5'5" and 90 pounds, or 4'9" and 86 pounds.
Okay.
I wish I was 4'9" and 86 pounds.
Right.
Just pick me up and toss me.
I was back
be
when
a
I
foot
was
shorter.
5 years old.
What did you say?
I said I was back when I was like 5.
Like the tallest toddler.
Well, I always tell people when people are like, "Yeah, I'm like
Well, you know, I've
I'm
always.
like 114 now." I was like, I was born at 115.
Well, you know, I've always been big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're a big baby.
I was like 9.5 pounds. So.
I was 9 pounds 10 ounces when I was born.
Shit.
I was a fat baby.
Yeah.
What were you about to say? What were you about to say? Continue.
I was like, you're still like 9 pounds, aren't you?
Oh my god, shut up.
Are we ready?
Yeah,
I'll go start with you.
I said big.
B, 5'4" and 100 pounds?
Yeah.
Okay, Justin.
I said A.
You think he was 5'2" and 73 pounds?
That's right.
I said B as well.
Okay, B it is.
Shit!
It was 5'4" and 100 pounds. Justin.
Saying I won't even get one right. I got
Justin's
two.
getting- Well, here you haven't listened to the last few. Justin's lost every one of them.
I've never won one.
every
And
single one.
and he tied ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Hey, well, listen, I just want
Tried
y'all
one
to
time.
know that I took a history test on Facebook and I got a 100.
I'm really
Oh,
bad at history.
I want you to know you don't know anything about presidents.
I know I will be president one day.
Oh, God.
Hey, the door has been opened.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you probably be a step up.
Okay. Question number 3. One of Donald Trump's nicknames is the Pussy Grabber President. But which president was nicknamed the Last Cocked Hat? Was it James Monroe, Calvin Coolidge, Harry Truman, or Andrew Jackson? The Last Cocked Hat.
I like the name Coolidge.
Coolidge is a cool name.
Will you say the answers again?
Coolidge is cool.
James Monroe, Calvin Coolidge, Harry Truman, or Andrew Jackson?
The cocked hat.
The Last Cocked Hat.
The last cocked hat.
What does that
Okay.
mean?
I have no idea.
Like
I watched a funny video that the Netherlands made.
Yeah.
They said that they watched the inauguration and it said America first, and they were like, well, how about the Netherlands second? So they made a video talking about how great the Netherlands were, and this, so they could send it to Trump so that he could like the Netherlands. And they said that we have a pony fair where you can go and you can play the ponies. You can even grab the pony by the pony if you want to.
Oh my gosh.
grab the pony by the pony.
Okay, the answer's in.
Yes.
Justin, how about you go?
I think it was C.
You think it was Harry Truman?
Harry Truman was cool.
Was half cocked hat man?
Yeah, he was
Okay,
cool. Harry
right on.
Truman.
I put D.
D. Andrew Jackson. Audra.
I said A.
James Monroe?
Yeah.
It was James Monroe.
Dang it.
Snap. I know my president.
Fuck James
I don't know.
Monroe.
Yeah, I'm just guessing.
Okay.
All right.
Question number 4. This president was almost universally hated by everyone. He was divorced by his own party while president. Nearly all of his cabinet resigned, and he was the first president impeached. Upon his death, there was no mourning proclamation, and flags were not placed at half-mast. He was called a poor, miserable, despised imbecile. No, I'm not talking about the bloated, chinless orange idiot. I'm talking about who? A. John Tyler. B. John Quincy Adams, C. James Polk, or D. Millard Fillmore.
There was one in there that I've never even heard of.
Who's that?
I don't remember the name.
Was it John Tyler?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait a moment.
John Tyler, John Quincy Adams, James Polk, or Millard Fillmore.
Maybe they wrote him out of history book.
Well, you know, this is interesting because
First person that
I know one name.
John Quincy Adams. That's all I knew when I made it.
this is interesting because, like, I know who history says is probably one of the worst presidents ever, and it's not on that list.
Okay.
But history records that Ulysses S. Grant was probably one of the worst presidents because he was drunk for half of it.
Keep that thought.
Okay. I told you I love history.
Okay.
But
all right. Do you have our answers?
Yeah.
Audrey.
I said A.
John Tyler.
Yeah, because I was like, I never heard him.
Justin.
I think it was Polk.
Maybe there's a reason.
You think it was Polk?
I put the only one I knew, B.
It was actually John Tyler. The one you didn't
Just
know.
went with the one I didn't know because they hated him so much. I never heard
It is
They never
interesting.
talk
It is
about
interesting.
him.
John Tyler. I've never heard of John Tyler,
I've never
and I
heard
know
of John
most
Tyler.
of the presidents. So
I had only heard John Quincy
I don't even
Adams.
pretend to know most of
I
the
guess he
presidents,
gets
but
overlooked.
There's a reason that there's ones that like you hear about, and I guess this is why you don't hear about
Yeah.
John Tyler.
Okay. So what's the score right now?
Audrey is up by 1.
You're up by 1.
I got 2.
I got them all right.
You have 4, 2, and...
Wait, you've got them
I
all?
got them all right so far.
Oh shit, she's up by 2.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I'm down. I mean, I've lost.
You're out, yeah.
I've lost.
I
going.
just won by
Bye.
default. Okay.
Justin, you're on a roll, man.
I know.
Okay.
At least I'm consistent.
Well, here's the last one. Question number 5. There is nothing left to do but get drunk. Not only did most America say that last Friday during the ascension of the piss-loving bitch Donald Trump, but this president also said that when he was not renominated by his own party. Was it Zachary Tyler, Franklin Pierce, Rutherford B. Hayes, or Chester A. Arthur?
Read the one more time.
So this president said there's nothing left to do but get drunk.
Yes.
Will you say the answers again?
Zachary Taylor, Franklin Pierce, Rutherford B. Hayes, or Chester A. Arthur?
When you said Rutherford B. Hayes,
Lost.
B. Hayes,
There's nothing I can do to win.
Oh, no.
I got confused.
It doesn't matter who I look at. I've lost. I don't even have to answer the question.
Are we all done?
Yeah.
These
Okay.
kids.
How about we'll start with our
C.
C. Rutherford B. Hayes.
I think it was Rutherford B. Hayes. I think it was Arthur.
You think it was Chester A. Arthur?
Yeah.
Audra.
I said B.
Audra with the perfect score.
Wow!
Franklin Pierce.
Is that a Ross Quiz history?
That's a record.
I think that is.
Did you get? No one has ever gotten them all right. No one's
No.
even gotten close to getting them all right.
I feel like what was
I
the
think
Christmas one?
I got 2.
I
think
My
Christmas,
first try, I got
I got
Christmas one. I
one.
think I missed 3.
A Christmas one we had 10.
Yeah.
I shortened it to 5.
Yeah. Well, I
There's a little bit of a
sucked.
theme going on that one.
God,
I hope you all enjoyed.
I
That was
sucked
great.
at that.
Yeah, man. I think
very bad at history, but I'm
I
really
think
proud of the 2.
pregame in it with some Aleve is true.
I got me a new video game. Actually, I got me a Civil War game. I believe I was playing it last week.
You were.
I've been doing very well at that. I'm getting ready for when the armies have to mount against Trump's army. I will be set and ready to go strategically. I will.
Yeah.
I can lead the forces.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it does. It does sound good.
Making me feel uncomfortable.
Ari thinks that I'm allergic to women.
Is that right?
Some of the things that he says is like,
What did he say?
I feel like I want to start collecting trains. And I'm like,
Then the other day,
are you allergic to women?
the other day I was telling her, I was like, you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to get some corkboard and make
Stop. Oh, God. Stop. You said corkboard.
So,
we're done.
You're
here.
already not supposed to date a guy with a cat. Now it's don't date guys with trains attached to corkboard.
That is a fine thing to do when you're like 70 and you've got grandkids.
Yeah. When you got grandkids, which means you already had the
Yeah.
woman, and then your little offspring had other.
Same thing with like building the little models in the boats. Like you have to have like a young one to
Well, hey,
help you.
Last topic of the night, I wanted to end the show with this. I got asked a question today, and I thought it was very interesting.
You got asked a question?
I did.
Wow.
I got asked a question.
You got asked 5 just now.
I got
one right.
today. I've just been answering. Hopefully, I answered this question right.
I'll be the judge of that.
So he was talking about Sharia law and
Sharia, want to know a fun fact about Sharia law?
Yeah.
Sharia means law. So
you're
it's
saying
law.
yeah, Sharia is
La
its
La,
own.
like
Yeah.
La La
That's
Land.
interesting. He was
Sharia
saying.
La Land.
So
It's La La Land.
He said that if you were out and about and you saw 2 Muslims going about their thing, and the husband started beating his wife, would you do anything about it?
Yes, I would.
And I would too. And I told him, I said I would. He said, but
Would this be in America or would it be?
it's in America.
Okay.
Because I told him, I did say that. I said, okay, now if we're in Saudi, I'm not going to do anything about it.
I think I still.
Isn't that sad?
I think I still would.
But you see, that's their
The fact that
country.
you think about that?
You see, the thing is, that's their country. But in my opinion, you have to, because what do you go by? Do you go by the law of the religion? You go by the law of the land. In my opinion, you go by the law of the land.
Yeah, separation of church and state.
Yeah. So in this country,
I'm not even concerned about law. I'm just going with what a decent human being would do.
Right.
Yeah.
but in Saudi Arabia, that is the law of the land.
Well, Saudi Arabia is the.
That is right.
shit.
Saudi Arabia is
Taking care of
they are crazy. But in Saudi Arabia, if a man comes up and asks a question to a woman and she answers him, her husband can beat the shit out of her.
Yeah.
And it's totally fun.
Mm-hmm.
And a part of me is like, as terrible as that would be in their country, I wouldn't do it because that is how they do things. But in this country, I would have to step in.
Well, did you hear Vladimir Putin, I think, is Russia is starting to go to some lengths to decriminalize domestic abuse.
Decriminalize.
So it's not a crime to hurt them.
So I could beat my husband all I want.
Well, I think it's almost certainly swayed for the man to be able to beat the.
Yeah, but hey,
I don't know.
I mean, I guess you
I'm gonna take it and run with it.
I don't know. There may be something in it though.
Maybe.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
Because what's the one law you were telling me about? I think it's another like Muslim law. It's like the woman obviously cannot cheat on the man, but the man can cheat on the woman
because it's the woman's fault.
Because it's the woman's fault. But what is it with the marriage? Like there's something with the marriage. Like a married man can cheat on his wife if they say the marriage is not known. So he can just lie and say, "Oh, the marriage wasn't known." But if the man catches his wife cheating on him, he can just kill her and been like, "Oh well, that whole thing."
Yeah,
what is
that was so long ago. I forget the details. There's something about it. I know that it's the woman's fault because they say that the woman elicited the. Like if a guy rapes a woman in certain countries, it's the woman's fault because she did something to pull the rapist out of the guy, which is absurd.
Yeah.
But yeah, what you're talking about, I remember this, but it's been so long I haven't thought about it.
I can't remember like the details, but it was something enraging. It was.
God, I wish I knew.
It made me
you
so
should have told
mad.
me before. I would have like.
Oh, I didn't. I just thought about it now, but it was just like ridiculous. It was something about a marriage that has to be like.
I think it's
there has to be like a witness to the marriage or something like that.
I could be wrong, but I feel like I'm remembering it's something that like only a man can end it, maybe. And so if he, I don't know, that doesn't sound
Have you
right.
ever seen the movie where Sally Fields marries a Muslim man and moves to that
movie.
country?
It's so makes me so mad.
If you haven't seen that movie,
what's that one called?
These laws, though, are like that. You don't need to live by them. Like a guy, like a decent Muslim who doesn't want to do anything horrible.
Right.
Cannot do anything
This is
horrible. It's
again
not like mandatory.
and I'm gonna say it. Muslim extremists.
Yes, which I don't understand why that upsets me. That's probably where I'm the most in line with like some conservative thoughts. I don't understand why that upsets people because they're like, when you say Muslim extremist, you're lumping in all Muslims. It's like, no, the word extremist was specifically put there to denote that it's separate from someone who isn't.
It's extreme.
It's like
way out there.
Well, it's like I hear stories about white supremacists, and I don't get upset because I don't consider that a knock at all white people.
Yeah,
because I'm not one.
That's supremacist.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The word is there.
The word is there.
It's like a whole other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's about as close as I get.
Like when I see Muslim people, I'm like, all right, you're cool. You're Muslim. You know, you're doing your thing. But like a Muslim extremist,
yeah,
well,
they're not cool.
Well, most
because they're doing a different
They're
thing.
doing a whole different thing.
Well, and but like also a lot of like people that you would think are Muslim, like may not be. Like there's a lot of people who are
definitely.
who are like Sikhs, I think is what it's called, and a lot of people confuse that with Islam, and then obviously Hinduism. A lot of people think.
Yeah, I'm talking about like when I see someone like interview them, like a Muslim, maybe like they're Muslim. I'm not just like
confirmed Muslim.
I'm not just like, oh, you look Muslim. You're probably
Muslim.
No, I get what you're saying. I wish I could remember what that law was because it's absurd.
It is like the worst.
I just wanted to make it clear that obviously this is not a mandatory law. People don't have to do this. Only people who are shit decide to do it.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's the fact that someone can do something so shitty and be protected by a law is pretty horrible.
Well. What a show!
We covered everything.
What a show! We covered everything tonight. I do want to end on the joke. I heard a joke today. I want to tell you a joke. I'm going to tell everyone a joke. I love this joke. Okay, it's a good joke. All right, so they're coming home from church. Okay, and this family invites the preacher over for lunch. So they go over, and the preacher, of course, he feels like he has to pray, right? Because he's the preacher, right? So he prays to the family. He blesses the food, and then he looks at the little boy, and he says, "Son, what would you like to eat? I will serve you." And he says, "Give me some of them damn beans." The preacher hauls up and smacks him right out of his chair.
What?
He looks at the next kid, and he says, "What do you want to eat?" And the kid says, "I don't know, but I know I don't want any of them damn beans." Anyway, what a great show. We'll see you back here next week. This has been Shooting the Pool. I'm Justin.
I'm Ross.
Audra.
Ariana.
That's right. And we'll see you back here next week. Take it easy.